Back at the Bus Podcast, coming to you with another comic book review. As always, we got my main man, I ain't saying, I'm just saying, Mr. Theo Butler.
What's good? Cracking. In the hood. Y'all know.
Today, we've got Monica Rambeau's Photon, issue number 3. So we open up here, right? I think we left off in issue 2, and we were trying to figure out what was going on with the whole Jericho drum reveal, right? Which was probably the clearest tale that something was going on here in terms of what reality we were in. Right. So that's where we're picking up here in this book. They're entertaining the Avengers, being Jericho and Monica, because this is supposed to be their house, because they're in a relationship. Right. There was one thing that I picked up at the beginning of this book that I didn't see, or it didn't really register to me. So she ran to that house at the end of the last book to prove to them that her parents were alive. She went to her parents' house. So in this reality, Jericho and Monica live in her parents' house.
Right. No, I was just going to say the Beyonder keeps giving me Billie Jean is not my lover vibes every time I look at it. Y'all don't come for me. I wasn't trying to be funny. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm just saying the song is in my...
I mean, he or she definitely looks like Michael Jackson. Okay. But not like, this is crazy for real. Because she looks like a woman right now. I swear to God, when they was first introduced, that looks like a man. I feel like they playing with us. I feel like they keep bouncing back and forth.
Watch this. You ready? Are those dookie braids Jericho drum got in his head? Because I ain't seen no locks that thick in a minute.
I'll give him a break on the locks just because they've done so well with Monica's hair. Yeah, but he do got some extra large. They look like faux locks. It looks like a Tyler Perry wig.
Look. A Tyler Perry wig. We breaking down your book, and you got some brothers in here that know something about some hairstyles.
I will give them the slightest bit of bail because they've done so well on Monica. Side note, they are smashing beignets in here in this living room. Beignets are a gift from God. They are angel tears. Beignets, I'm speaking from recent experience. Beignet, I would kill over a beignet. You hear me?
Yeah, I was like, are they saying bagging that? But then again, I was my wife had to come.
That's a beignet. First of all, Theo, first of all, you a Southern guy. You from Florida. You just hours away from the bayou. I know you ain't telling me you ain't never had no beignet. Dog. You have to go to New Orleans, go to Cafe Beignet. Everybody gonna tell you to go to Cafe Dumont. That's not where you have to go. You can't go there in Cafe Benny, right? But go to Cafe Beignet and change your life. Okay. Change your life.
He said change your life. All right, I'm going to change another life.
It's like if a honeycomb, a funnel cake, what else? A donut all had a mutant child and it was blessed by the Holy Father. That's what a beignet is. That is what a beignet is.
Wait, hold on. Josh, you got to run that back one more time when you edit this and everything like that.
A honeycomb, a funnel cake, what else? A donut all had a mutant child and it was blessed by the Holy Father. That's what a beignet is. Hey, if you can get close, that means you on the stairway to heaven.
Good God Almighty Jesus.
So in the middle of this conversation, Monica gets a phone call from her mother confirming her suspicions about this reality and everything that was going on. She teleports herself to the location where her parents are, but there are some signs in there immediately that lets her know that there's still something off about what's going on here, right? Her cousin, Caleb.
Who is now a kid.
Yeah, he was a grown man. He was calling her about some relationship stuff in issue 1. Now he getting ready to go to baseball practice. Yep. So right away, we're still not where we're supposed to be at.
Right.
She can't seem to get back or to find the particular spot in the universe where she came from. She's just kind of bouncing from familiar spot to familiar spot. Is what it seems like. What's funny about that is that she tries to go directly back to the house she just left. She's sharing with her and Jericho. Everybody's gone, including the Beyonder. Now you would think the Beyonder would be able to keep up with her if they wanted to.
Right.
Be able to stick with Monica. Like, oh, you leaving? Shoot, I'm coming with you. But she's there with the rest of the Avengers, and then she's gone with the rest of Avengers, which is telling me, I guess, she may be telling the truth about just being pulled here. Right? She may not be blowing smoke about being pulled towards Monica wherever she's at in the universe right now, because at the same time Avengers left, the Beyonder was gone as well. I thought that was something that kind of went, I won't say it's unnoticed. I don't know what everybody else saw, but it seemed to be very loud in the book. She didn't speak about it.
She either has control or doesn't have control over where how she's going, where she's going. Like, she thinks it, she shows up, but that ain't where she want to be.
I think it's interesting though that she ends up in a different spot every time. Right? She's picking the correct physical locations. She ends up in a different universe or a different reality every time, which is it's almost like her powers. Okay, so you play football, right? You go through a whole off season of lifting weights and training and conditioning, and then you go out there and you put the pads on, and all of a sudden you can throw the ball farther. All of a sudden you can tackle harder, you can run faster. Something happened to Monica, right? That's making her overshoot with her powers when she's using them now, right? And she's not even recognizing it, which makes her think back to the Stone of Hala. My working theory is that when she came into contact with the Stone of Hala, what she would normally be doing with her powers, just kind of like me and you breathe, is amplified.
Right.
So that powering up, excuse me, and we'll get some more information as to what is going on with the Stone of Hala with Wong here and later on in the book. I think that collision between the two of them, with her already, her powers as it is, plus the power of the Stone of Hala, has juiced her up so to where now she's affecting reality without even knowing it. And when she's attempting to use her powers, she's overshooting because she's juiced up.
Exactly. I think we'll get to a point. I think what this series is going to give us is some type of final conclusion, or rather an exact science as to how Monica's powers operate and as what they are exactly. Because they toyed around with her abilities ever since she came back as someone else besides Captain Marvel. Like, they had a clear-cut pathway in who they wanted her to be as Captain Marvel when it came to her power set. And then once she came back as Spectrum and Photon, now we're wanting to get her power set more in line with her namesake.
Monica decides that the Stone of Hala is probably the source of her displacement at this moment. So she heads off to the Sanctum Sanctorum, tries to meet up with Strange, but lo and behold, it's not Strange, right? Just surprise, surprise. It's not a surprise at this point. She doesn't even expect to be in the right reality at this point. When she gets there, she meets Wong. Wong isn't surprised particularly to see her, but he doesn't seem to understand what she's talking about when she says, "I'm here to see Steven." So this universe, it doesn't even seem either Steven hasn't become a sorcerer yet, or he's not a thing in this reality.
Wong like, how she said, "I'm here to see Strange." How you said that?
Like we got Strange, mysterious, enigmatic, lots of ominous too. Take your pick. Hey fam, are you fucking with me, or you really don't know what I'm talking about? Like,
mind you, to a degree, I love it when a character's personality on screen replaces the character's non-personality in the comic books.
I didn't know anything about Wong. I didn't know anything about dude before the MCU. That's a win. They can tout that. You can tout that because I didn't give no cares about Wong before the MCU.
The personality is right on over. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, they can count that one as a win for sure. So Wong is giving Monica a brief overview of the stone's origin. He actually helps her pinpoint where exactly in the universe the stone came from so she can try to track it back and get back to where she came from, right? She does that. He finds the point in space. She flies off. She gets there and
before you do that, Can I give it up to Eve Ewing? Because Miss Eve Ewing shouted out Midnight's Fire from Ironheart.
Yeah.
I was assuming she would because she wrote, I think she wrote Ironheart.
Ironheart, yeah. Yeah.
But Midnight's Fire,
Mhm.
I ain't heard Midnight's Fire name since the New York Warriors. Hey, can we get Dwayne back, please? Bring back the New Warriors in the original Inception. Bring them back. Let's put Marvel Comics back the way they're supposed to be. Thank you for mentioning Midnight's Fire, Miss Eve Ewing. Thank you.
Always the historian, it seems like, in her book, so that's pretty consistent for her.
Now I didn't even know Midnight's Fire was showing up over there because he was really putting hands on Night Thrasher back in the day. Like, now I gotta check it out.
Well, Monica arrives at the spot that her and Juan pinpointed, only she can't see where she's supposed to be entering, right? Where the source is. So what she does is she turns off the visible light spectrum that she was trying to search under initially and starts looking at embryonic stars to help chart her path. Like I don't want to see a night vision. Let me click back over to heat signature. She's like a what's the thing? Alien. Predator. She damn predator. So she enters the facility after she's, uncovered it. She meets Tahim. Tahim is part of the what do they call it here? Guardian Hall of Charos. Yes. What this place is called. Charos are, what I gathered, are sort of archivers. They're historians. They keep historical note or relics is what they call it.
Them a lot of beds.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting ready to get to. They're sick somehow. They've fallen. All of them have fallen ill, and it looks like Taim is the last one there taking care of all of them. It's not even a doctor, by the way. This is pretty shitty circumstance.
Right, bro, it's just you. Like, you ain't tired.
You know what this reminds me of? Did you ever watch Passengers with Chris Pine and Jennifer Lawrence?
I think so.
They send a ship out into space, and everybody's supposed to wake up halfway through the trip because they're colonizing a new planet. Only one dude wakes up early as hell, and then he wakes up somebody else so he doesn't have to die alone. Kinda only the not, waking up somebody else so he doesn't have to die alone thing. But the being alone on a giant spaceship where you were supposed to be part of a colony, that's what this made me think about. Tahim is telling Monica about her partner, right? Because she begins to talk about the Stone of Hala. That's the reason why she's there. She believes that her partner, Posa, is the strongest relic healer. He would probably be able to help her, only he's writhing in pain over here on the ground. So Monica Rambeau is going to try and do some work on her. So first she uses an X-ray light spectrum to look and see and identify what's going on with him. Sees as there's a blockage.
And she prayed. I like that aspect of it. I know some people might be like, what are we injecting into comic books? I'm gonna say this: if we ain't got no problem with this person being Jewish and we ain't got no problem with this person being Catholic, chill out.
Yeah. So she does a light bit of radiation on the blockage for Posa. Wakes up on the next page. It seems like she's able to do that for the rest of the people in the space shuttle as well. So shout out to Monica Rambeau for being the savior of the Charos.
Shout out to Monica Rambeau for just not knowing what being tired is. Like, there was a lot of bad.
She just hopping universes, saving lives. Can't make it home though. Can't make it. So I want to go back before I read Osa's, his information that he's telling her about the universe. I wanted to read something from Wong that he was telling Monica back at the Sanctum. So he says he believes that the stone comes from the Kree, the ones who first discovered it in this world. It has never been stolen. It has been under our protection for ages, unlike the one in her universe. So that one has stayed put. As you likely know, Miss Rambeau, much of the universe is concealed from us, places where it rushes by, splits, turns, and reunites. Like flowing water in the rocky stream, where worlds collide. We believe the stone to be a relic of such a collision, a fragment imbued with the power to blur the line between realities. So, what I'm getting from that is that I'm definitely doubling down on my theory. Is that the combination of Monica Rambeau's powers and this just being literally a relic of a collision point of realities is what probably activated it. Okay, what do you think? Did she activate the stone and therefore start crumbling the universe? Because that's what Homeboy Posa is saying as well here on his last couple pages. I believe the universe itself is crumbling, holding in on itself, bringing far-filling edges of reality into proximity. Our illness was an early sign connected as we were the sinews of the galaxy. But this is not ended. The reality as we know it will cease to exist if something is not done. So we got the Stone of Hala being a relic of a collision point between realities. We got Posa talking about the sickness that his people just went through as an early warning sign of some degradation of the universe. And we got Monica Rambeau, who seems to be the linchpin to all of it. Do we think that Monica activated the crumbling, or did the stone activate Monica to start the crumbling of the universe?
Or because Eve Ewing is showing the fact that she is a how can I put it? She's a historian, and Wong says, well, worlds collide. I remember the incursion where planets and universes and realities were actually colliding. And then I take into consideration what you and I know is to be the plot point for the upcoming movie, The Marvels, in which we have universes, realities colliding, and what Monica's role is supposed to be is said plot point. I'm of the mindset the relic could be from the incursion event that was, ironically enough, I want to say in Al Ewing's Avengers.
So okay, so that's an interesting thing, right? So would that have? I guess that would. I'm trying to think. So did the incursion create the stone?
I would have. Yeah, that would be where I'm coming from. Where the incursion created the stone, and understanding that I mean, just looking at it, and I don't want to say for political sense or whatever, but we know this hero is being reintroduced into mainstream. We know that, Monica Rambeau. We know she's getting ready to show up in a movie that's going on later this year. Like I said, you and I know what the plot leaks are. We know the sources that we got them from, and they're more often than not, they're right. And so to me, this is more something to bring awareness to the character, and we're going to bring her character more so in line with what we expect to take place in the MCU. So that's where I'm coming from it. So, and we know the incursion event is something that's looming on the horizon in the MCU. We know that. So if they're trying to pay this off, especially when you and I get a few pages, and who was in the front of the book? The first person we talked about, Billie Jean is not my love, the Beyonder, right?
Yeah. And first of all, solicit suck, but right. there's a solicit right in the middle of this book for the Beyonder. Beyonder has been manipulating the Avengers for months, but to what end? First of all, Derek Landy, Derek, your first job is to make sure the Beyonder was doing all kind of chaos in Wakanda. Okay, that is your first job, fam.
Yeah, dead ass. But I mean,
take it away, Jesus. Fix it. Fix it.
So this is even the first costume that the Beyonder, he had the little, jacket back in the day. But when he went out of space, he had this on. I never still to this day don't know what the hell that is on his shoulders. But so so to me, it's more along the lines of which I don't. I don't know how they want to do this because she's powerful. Like Monica to be traversing these realities, like she's a powerful person. Like, forget I'm traveling through the universe. I'm traveling through realities under my own power. And low key, she did that on WandaVision already.
Yeah, technically, because the hex was a faux reality. That's all it was. It was a pocket reality that she was able to enter where no one else was.
Absolutely. Now, the only thing that I have questions about is because if I remember when the young lady examined her on WandaVision, she was saying to her, like, the way she spoke to her genes had already been altered prior
at
to
a molecular level already.
Before she went through the hex initially. So we haven't got a origin story, like how she got her abilities and everything like that. She's not a mutant because they said it was altered. So my question is, did something happen between her and Carol? Because Carol is auntie to her. I don't know why that's what we finna do. Where's Daniel? Anyway, never mind. So I'm wondering if there was an interaction between her and Carol that exposed her to Carol's abilities.
I don't even think they let poor Loretta Lynch even have a husband. I don't even think she had a man. He just popped out of her. And they needed somebody to watch the kid, and Captain Marvel, they had to call the grandparents, because where's the daddy gone? We don't even talk about him. Please speak about it.
That be blowing me for us. Never mind.
I mean, shit, y'all could have at least left her a scroll, you know what I mean, to look like her husband, make her feel good. She done rented her house out to y'all, rented out the farm. At least leave her with a scroll to protect her that looked like her husband or something. You know, that's just me. It just sounds hospitable.
Time out. I'm finna be petty. You ready? I'm finna be petty. I'm sorry. We going off script here, and I'm sorry. I'm apologizing to the fan.
We're pretty much done.
You remember the movie Straight Outta Compton?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the movie Selma? You remember them two movies? Remember we was the lead in the movies. Me, you know, men, black men. We didn't get nominated for not one Academy Award, not one for the movies, right? We didn't. We know that's what that was, right? We did. And the Academy Award admitted, hey, we ain't even watch them damn movies. Wow, you ain't watching? You know what we didn't do, Marcus? We didn't shout misandry. We called it for what it was. We didn't shout misandry. We called it for what it was. Racism. Okay, sisters. 3 out of the 4 holiday movies. Teal, Black Panther 2, Woman King, right? Got that. The only thing we got was Devotion, right? Ain't there one of the movies get nominated for nothing? Name one of them. Only one out of the 4 movies was we in. Was we the lead, right? How you hollering misogyny? No, it's not misogyny. It's what it was when it came to Selma and Straight Outta Compton. It's what it was, what it is when it came to Devotion. Stop pinning your ears on men. No, this ain't have nothing to do with us. Just like Selma and Straight Outta Compton and Devotion ain't have nothing to do with y'all. That's why we didn't shout misandry. This has nothing to do with men. No, the people that you think like you, that don't look like you, don't give 2 damns about you. Period. Stop blaming men for that. I'm sorry. I'm back.
So, just quickly to wrap everything back up, Monica tries to shoot back to the sanctum. Again, another reality. He ends up at a sanctum that looks like it has been turned into the Ravencroft Institute. So we totally out of whack once again. He runs back into Dr.
Carla and the young lady who had the abilities before.
In the first issue. That's what I'm trying to remember. I don't got the book in front of me. But both of these individuals stop her, yada yada. Long story short, Monica, you're crumbling the universe. You're destroying the universe. That is the cliffhanger that we are left on for this book. Now, it seems like she has a new foe.
Can I say this
issue 4 next week?
Can I say this as action figure collector before we wrap this up? I find it interesting that the Moonstone action figure that everybody has been asking for is now available for sale at Walgreens. It's a Walgreens exclusive. Moonstone. That action figure on the secondhand market costs a grip. But not only has the action figure just recently been, put in Walgreens as a Walgreens exclusive. Moonstone, whom we ain't seen in a minute, is showing up in Monica Rambeau's comic book. My question is she going to also show up in the Marvels? I bet some money on it. She will.
Moonstone, okay. That's a good predict.
I'm a prediction. You ain't just putting her, because this ain't Monica Rambeau's fault.
She got a toy. He's in the book. He'll probably be a character in the movies. That sounds pretty.
Wait, and who is in the back that she's fighting? It's Moonstone.
Oh, that's who that is. Okay, I thought you were talking about the doctor.
The doctor with the blonde hair, that's Moonstone.
That's Moonstone. Okay, for sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's Moonstone and her civilian guys. And mind you, this version of Moonstone in this costume is the one that everybody wanted her in when Hasbro dropped her. Hasbro dropped her in her white costume, so there's a lot of action figure collectors that are upset about that. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but the ones that are upset have made their opinions known. But it's funny. It's like, oh, so you gave us an action figure, you put it in the comic book, okay, is she gonna show up in the movie? Mind you, like I said, this is not Monica Rambeau's fault. Like, that's not her arch nemesis. It's not.
So much for Rogue. Looks like we're getting Moonstone in the Marvels. You heard it here first. Any parting thoughts there on the book, Theo?
I'm still liking the book. I think this and every artist, every writer has to do it. You can't always have action. Sometimes you have to dial it back to do some storytelling. So I would say this issue was more about storytelling, giving us some background info as to what was going on. But I do like the inclusion of Wong. I do like the explanation and everything like that. To see Moonstone show up in the book, I definitely think it gives us some intrigue, like some backstory. Like there's more to it than what's going on. So it has me looking forward to issue 4. And shout out to this Miss Ewing being a historian. Like, I'm loving that. Like, God Almighty, Jesus. Like, don't get me set up for you to be a historian and you disappoint me now. Because right now
man. She got my expectations higher than they should be. And I just want her to take every bit of love and attention and appreciation that she has for this character and apply it to T'Challa. I feel like anything less is a betrayal, because I know you can do it. I know you can do it, and you're at your best when you're doing that. So I hope and I pray.
If the first segment that I read in regards to Wakanda Forever issue 1, Our Voices, if that's any inclination, there are some misses, they are doing their damnedest to be responsible for when it comes to Wakanda. Like, for that to be the story that's probably taking place per se after He Who Shall Not Be Mentioned names run on and everything like that. They are acknowledging,
One more month, baby. One more month.
Yeah. They're acknowledging the fact that he's the Galactic Emperor and things of that nature. So,
I'll have to pick up that book then, because it's been the first time it's been acknowledged in some time. You
might have to order it, because when I went to my CB, that wasn't nothing but the man upstairs, because they said we only got 1 copy left, and they only ordered 15.
Yeah, it's a black comic, so more than likely I'll probably have to order it. You're right. Give us your thoughts on the comic in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Come back, mess with us for some more comic book review content. We usually put it up weekly.